Sparring a bunch of world champion heavyweights. I think Lawrence Okolie did that to me. He's like 6'6", 270.
Oh, that Jake does.
I think it's ChatGPT's lying to him. I think he needs to say on ChatGPT, give me it raw, uncut, and don't filter your answers. He's probably typed in ChatGPT, do you think I can beat Anthony Joshua? And it's been like, great question. Anthony came off a shocking loss in September. You have a great chance, Jake.
It's not any evidence as to how hard the sparring is or what they're doing. It might just be that they're tech sparring, like I said, but Jake isn't handling it too well, that he's getting clipped by them and they're just that much bigger and heavier that he can't quite take the power. His face is getting marked up and damaged.
Anthony Joshua mocked Jake Paul after a clip of Jake's black eye went viral. Jake claimed the bruise came from sparring heavyweights while prepping for the AJ fight, but Joshua found it funny. To AJ, getting roughed up in sparring just proves Jake is way out of his depth, and he laughed at the idea that Paul thinks he can beat a proven heavyweight like him.
Wait, is your eye okay? How'd that happen? Who are you sparring?
I'm sparring a bunch of world champion heavyweights. I think Lawrence Okolie did that to me. He's like 6'6", 270.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. What are you weighing right now?
I'm like 215.
And you got to get to what weight to fight AJ?
220.
What's AJ's weight, 220?
He'll be like 250 in the ring.
Huh? 250?
Yeah.
Jake, 250 pounds he's going to fight at.
Yeah. It's definitely a pretty wild fight, my brother.
Anthony Joshua laughs off Jake Paul, saying Jake can't even handle the power he's feeling in sparring, yet somehow still believes he can beat him. AJ jokes that maybe Jake's doctor is feeding him false confidence. He makes it clear there's nothing in the contract telling him to hold back. Joshua says he'll use full power on fight night, is training seriously, and is excited to show Jake the real difference between them.
They got to start believing in him because, they don't believe it because they're saying, how is he beating these guys? I think they can't get their head around. How did he beat Anderson Silva? How did he beat Nate Diaz? How did he beat Mike Tyson?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there's no stipulation in the contract where I have to take it easy on him.
Yeah. Are you excited for this one, Anthony?
Yeah, really. I've trained really hard, so I'm looking forward to putting my skills to the test.
Joey Knight starts by breaking down Jake Paul's preparation and says Jake truly believes he can land something meaningful on Anthony Joshua. He explains that Jake has been sparring Lawrence Okolie and other heavyweights to get used to the size and power gap he'll face against AJ. According to Joey, Jake suffered an eye injury during sparring with Okolie and later showed it publicly as proof he's training with real power punchers. But Joey points out that Jake never shared the full story, how the rounds actually went, what shots landed clean, or what instructions he was given in the ring. Joey believes Jake knows exactly how dangerous this fight is and understands what he's stepping into with Joshua, yet still talks himself into believing he'll shock the world. His message is simple. If Jake is already taking heavy shots in sparring, that's just a preview of what AJ will bring on fight night.
Paul has still done well just for getting in with this fella who, if nothing else, is still known as a bit of a puncher, and Jake Paul has done even better in being able to legitimately put him on his arse. But that's one level of sparring. To be precise, that level is ranked 249th by BoxRec when it's looking at heavyweights. And when BoxRec looks at heavyweights, you have to go all the way up the list to find number 5 ranked Lawrence Okolie. That is who Jake Paul has been sparring with over these past few weeks.
Trouble finding Hussein Mohammed early on.
And a lot of you guys will know this because Jake Paul showed the bruises and marks on his face and said that it was Lawrence Okolie that had done that. And faces don't necessarily tell you how a spar went. Some guy can have blood all over him, he can have a busted up nose, but he still won the rounds in sparring. But I can only imagine that this week has been a very, very humbling experience for Jake Paul. In fact, the past few weeks will have been eye-opening for Jake Paul. A past few weeks where he has sparred the likes of Lawrence Okolie, of Jared Anderson, and of Frank Sanchez as well. And being that I have seen Jake Paul go life and death with Tommy Fury, you can guarantee you that Okolie, that Anderson, and that Frank Sanchez have basically manhandled Jake Paul in there. And that experience would have been somewhat of a dawn of realization upon Jake Paul that this is actually happening now. So to an extent, I'll be honest, I actually feel sorry for Jake Paul. I mean, I don't.
Carl Froch sits down with Tony Bellew, and both break down the matchup with total seriousness. Froch says the very first jab from Anthony Joshua will make Jake Paul instantly question why he ever signed this fight. According to Froch, once Jake feels AJ's power, even from a basic jab, he'll realize he's made a huge mistake. Bellew agrees, saying Jake is stepping into a world he doesn't truly understand. They both point out that Jake has never faced someone who hits like Joshua, a heavyweight who has dropped world champions with simple, clean shots. Froch adds that Jake lacks the experience, reflexes, and defensive instincts needed to survive against a precise power puncher at this level. In their view, this won't just hurt Jake physically, it will be a harsh realization that this fight can't be talked away or promoted past once the bell rings.
Fake Paul, I call him, against Anthony Joshua. Massive unit, two-time world champ, still got a big punch. I think he's mentally fragile at world level if he goes against the big guns because of the knockout, especially the bar knockout when he got fucking splattered. You know what I mean? In round 5, and he got hurt early on, and then he got done. And he's not been in the ring for 13 months.
Yeah.
But can you see a world in which Jake Paul is competitive in this fight?
No.
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 How do you see the fight going if AJ takes it serious?
It'll be over when he wants it to be over.
Thank you. So do you think it's going to be real, this fight? Do you think it's actually... So you think that Jake Paul...
You couldn't fake it. You really think Anthony Joshua's going to put his whole livelihood on the line for Jake Paul?
No, I don't think he would.
So there you go.
But
it's over when he wants it to be over.
There could be some kind of tacit agreement in the background.
How?
Where they have a handshake.
Then that's illegal. You're going to jail.
Exactly, it's illegal. That's what I was going to say.
So you can't.
Because it's not an exhibition.
No, it's a fight.
So we're
and people are betting on it. Big amounts of money.
So we're watching this. I'm flying out there next week to Miami to watch it. So I'm going out there. He's laughing. I'm getting some old. So it's all good. But it's like Jake Paul against Anthony Joshua, 6 foot. Was he 6'6"?
About that.
Fucking. What's he? 16. What's 245 pounds?
He can't be a pound over 245.
What's
so
that in stone?
The best part, just on 17 stone or just under.
So Jake lost to Tommy Fury, and that's the one everyone keeps on. Do you think he's improved much since Tommy Fury?
Yeah, but do I think he's improved enough to be competitive? Unless I close my eyes and Josh is completely shot to bits, no.
Henry the analyst gives a neutral take on Jake Paul's black eye, saying fans shouldn't overreact. He notes no one knows the context. Jake could have been working offense, defense, or following instructions that left him open. A black eye alone doesn't tell the full story, as fighters get marked up even in controlled drills. Posting it online amplified reactions. Henry also admits sparring full heavyweights isn't normal for cruiserweights. Using these sessions to prove readiness for Joshua adds pressure. The real test will come on fight night, when the power difference is real.
To the enormous dude. But the thing is, for me, the black eye is not really evidence of a whole lot. For all I know, they're just tech sparring. They're saying, right, Lawrence, go in there. You're just going to jab Jake this round. Jake, you're going to practice defense. Right, Lawrence, Jake's going to try and knock you out this round. There's different kinds of sparring. Not all sparring is at full speed. In fact, a lot of sparring isn't. Lawrence could easily have given him that black eye by just landing a simple jab to his face. It's not indicative of any kind of intensity. It doesn't give away any information about how Jake is actually getting on in there. Even the best fighters will come out of training camp with a mark here and there. The other thing that we saw and that was called out in a recent interview clip was that Jake's nose looked slightly bent to the side and slightly swollen. It was called out by the interviewer, and Jake said, yes, it was Frank Sanchez who gave that to me.
You broke your nose? Is this new? I'm seeing your nose. Your nose is that from the same show?
More crooked, brother. I'm not gonna lie. The sparring, the heavyweights, my nose has moved a couple millimeters to this camp. A guy by the name of Frank Sanchez, he definitely cracked it a little bit, so it definitely has a slight little something in there. It's bad.
Frankie,
wait, hold on. Look at that, dude.
Yeah,
it's like,
Frankie.
I'm like Squidward, dog.
Hey, Frankie Sanchez, they talk about him.
Anthony Joshua explains his training, highlighting how it differs from Jake Paul's approach. He says his sparring sessions are intense. He hits, gets hit, and both sides leave marked but wiser. AJ emphasizes these rounds sharpen timing, build power, and improve precision. He contrasts this with Jake, noting Jake's injuries show he struggles with heavyweight shots even in controlled sessions. For Joshua, this fight is another challenge, and he's preparing seriously, focused on using his full power without holding back.